Pretty warm as we head through the rest of your evening, as temperatures only bottom out in the mid-60s going through your night tonight. We'll call it partly to mostly clear overall. At best, we're talking about mid to upper 50s, and even then, that's out toward Rapid City and southwestern portions of South Dakota. For your day on Wednesday, we do it all over again. Highs on either side of 90 in many locations, especially further in central and eastern KELOLAND, and then we'll see some 80s out to the west. More on that and the risk for some stronger thunderstorms coming up in your extended forecast. Until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, KELOLAND News First at 4.
Summer weather and hot cars go hand in hand. Tips to keep you and your family safe.
Plus, the high temperatures and little rainfall are hitting farmers hard. How farmers in Minnesota are coping.
And later, Levo Credit Union is giving scholarships to high school students for their achievements. We're going to meet one of the winners. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. 2 men are behind bars and 2 others are wanted following an incident on the west side of town. 4 people were in a car that started following another car and eventually started shooting at it. It all started in the area near the Empire Mall last night and continued through a couple of west side neighborhoods. At one point, the suspect's car rammed into an unmarked police car, causing significant damage. There were also several cars with bullet holes, but no one was hurt.
Officers arrested 21-year-old Aaron Ramos for DUI and drug charges. Police say that he was the driver, and 18-year-old Quentin Jackson was one of the passengers. Inside the car, police recovered a gun with an altered serial number. Investigators do not believe that the suspect and the victims knew each other.
Well, Sioux Falls Animal Control is looking for more information about a dog that bit a woman. Reports say the woman was bitten on the leg by an unleashed black and white pit bull mix. According to Animal Control, there were 2 Hispanic men walking with the dog along with 3 other dogs.
One man was wearing all black clothing with white on his shirt. The other man was wearing all blue clothing with his arm in a sling. They were both last seen walking towards downtown. Animal Control would like to verify the dog's vaccinations. All right, let's get a check of our weather. It has been so warm and so dry.
This hot weather is on repeat, Adam.
Yeah, it really has been a case of lather, rinse, repeat ever since really the later part of May. We haven't been below 80 degrees in Sioux Falls since the later part of last month. And I think we'll be able to squeeze in at least 3, maybe even 4 more days of that before we finally do get underneath that 80-degree mark. And even then, it might not be by a whole lot. Until we get to that point, though, it is still rather warm, if not outright hot in winter. Pardon me. 88 in winter with a west wind at 5 miles per hour. Blue skies above in Tripp County. Meanwhile, as you head toward Falls Park, it's a similar story, but you notice the grass is starting to get, pardon me, a little brown, and the allergies are not helping out either. I can tell you that for sure. 92, a northeasterly wind at 5 miles per hour. Fortunately, the falls are still flowing decently, but with how dry it's been, it's only going to be a matter of time before that flow starts to ebb a little bit more. Meanwhile, down toward Yankton, 90 along the marina with a south wind of 7 miles per hour. If we had a 70-mile-per-hour wind, we'd be talking about severe thunderstorm warnings. So, yeah. 7, not 70. That's the take-home message. 89, though, in Brookings. 74, if I could tie that, in Custer. But that's as cool as it gets on the map right now. 80s for Rapid City and Spearfish, 81 apiece. Satellite and radar staying mainly quiet for the time being. We had a couple of thunderstorms out toward Brookings County, moving south and east through Marshall, headed toward Worthington and Pipestone. That's really been it. We've had a frontal boundary that's been stalled basically over the entirety of KELOLAND. And while it's tried to act as a triggering mechanism for a couple of showers and thunderstorms, there hasn't been a whole lot to work with. I don't think that's going to be the case, though, as we head into Wednesday with a better chance for thunderstorms, for some at least. More on that coming up in your full forecast as we head through the hour.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Well, it's that time of year again, as we've just been talking about, with temperatures already reaching the high 80s. It's important to remind people of the dangers of leaving children inside hot cars. In just 10 minutes, a car can increase 20 degrees when it's in direct sunlight. Bringing any kids with you, even for a short period of time, is of course recommended. KELOLAND's Julia Lynn will have more tips on how to keep your children safe coming up tonight.
Well, it's been super hot and dry, and farmers are beginning to worry. In Dakota County, Minnesota, the nerves are perhaps even more pronounced now because farmers are still recovering from the extreme drought last summer. As our CBS affiliate in Minnesota, Jonah Kaplan, reports, the lack of rain could really put a damper on our wallets.
We're right off Highway 52, and you can see behind me, it's really a tale of two crops. In the far distance, this is soybeans, planted just last week. You still see a lot of brown. It hasn't really rained. Now look, just in front over here, this is corn, planted about 2 to 3 weeks ago. That's when it did rain. Look how much greener, look how much higher.
The latest drought monitor labeling Minnesota as abnormally dry. Last year at this time, the conditions actually better, but look what happened just 6 months later.
Just try praying a little harder.
Those prayers clearly didn't work for the Warner family last year. Jerry Warner saying they lost half the crop. Today, the 82-year-old is still keeping the faith. This is his 65th crop on a farm his family's owned for 150 years.
Because I survived some major surgeries and a bad stroke last fall, and I'm still going, still farming. I was out in the tractor every day this spring.
Warner taking us on a ride through the farm, one of more than 800 in Dakota County, according to the latest USDA survey. The produce doesn't just feed us, it helps grow the economy, from factories to farmers markets. The Warners do own crop insurance, but they caution that only helps them and not the consumer. As supply goes down, prices always go up.
Yeah, and then the people in the city will have to pay more for it, and then they'll complain again. But it all comes back to if the farmer don't get a crop, then they're going to have to pay more money.
In Dakota County, Jonah Kaplan, WCCO News.
According to the Warners, installing an irrigation system could cost at least $200,000. Now, ideally, they say that crops need at least 1 inch of rain per week.
4 South Dakota firefighters are stationed in northern Minnesota along the Canadian border. The fire department posted this picture of engine 611 on Twitter. The South Dakota crew is on hand in case a fire breaks out because of the extremely dry conditions in the area. To give you an idea of just how dry it is, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources reported 50 wildfires over the Memorial Day weekend.
Well, still